everyone, my name's Sina and I'm very sick right now, but we're just gonna roll with it. Alright guys, it is the first week of December and I'm finally doing my November wrap up. Yes. Life's been a bit crazy. I've been very sick. I've been dealing with deadlines, but only one more week until Christmas break and I can do it. I know I can. But anyways, yeah, so November, very exciting month. I finally reached my very first Goodreads yearly reading challenge. I talk weird right now because I'm sick, so I apologize for the fact that I sound so weird. And I'm just a blubbering mess. We'll just leave it at that. With me reaching my yearly challenge, which was 25 books this year, I actually read 6 books in the month of November, which is really good for me, especially seeing as how crazy it got at times. But yeah, I'm proud of myself, and now for the month of December, I'm just gonna be chill, read what I want, when I want. If I get a whole bunch of books done, great. If I don't, that's fine, as long as I'm enjoying my books. That's all that matters, hopefully. I'm just rolling with it. Right now, I'm putting my health first, and then my deadlines first too, but I need to be healthy to do good on my deadlines. That's what I keep telling myself, at least, but you know, that's enough rambling. Let's just get into this. Right, so I just decided to start the month off with an audiobook because I found myself when I was not in class, I was doing work or sleeping or just relaxing and not really reading much. Meanwhile, when I was in the mood to read, it was while I was walking in class, so I was like, alright, let's do an audiobook. So my audiobook was Amy Powler, I don't know, I love her but I can't say her last name. Her Yes Please audiobook. Now, going into it, I don't want to say I had high expectations, but I was like, okay, this is basically Leslie Knope reading a book to me, because I love Parks and Recreation. Just my family and I binge watch that show because it's amazing. If you haven't seen it, watch it. You won't regret it. But yeah, so overall, it was really good. I definitely enjoyed it. There were some parts I was a bit but that's probably because a girl in college versus a mom, those types of stories. But I still enjoyed them. It was entertaining, and I was definitely that person on public transport who was laughing to herself and probably looked like a crazy person, but that's just what Amy does to me. But so yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, not being a 5 because it wasn't the best memoir, autobiography, whatever this is classified as. But at the end of the day, I enjoyed it, and she did a good job, and it was very her, down to herself. And yeah, it was just it was a fun, quick audiobook. I flew through it, and yeah, that is all. So then, book number 2 was actually a book that I had to read for my creative writing class and give a presentation on. And I have to admit, I read this in high school, but I didn't exactly love it in high school, and it was a group read, I think. So I didn't really go in depth with it myself and have my little time with it. So now that I read it for university, I did. That book is As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner. Now, I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. Did I love it? Yes. Did I hate the ending? Yes. But can I agree that the ending was perfect for the book? Yes. I think anyone who is interested in reading classics or tends to find themselves kind of intimidated by the big ones and stuff, this is definitely one to start with because it's so unique, and every single chapter is from a different person's view. So you have the mom's view once because she dies. Sorry for the spoiler, but it's a whole point of it. It says on the back, whatever. You get each of the kids, you get the fathers, you get the people in the town, you get the doctors. It's very unique and still easy to read and understand, and there's not Like, there is kind of a bit of a language barrier in terms of it being, like, you know, during the Depression in Mississippi. But it's not that big of a deal. Like, I think anyone can really get through it and get into it and get attached to the characters. And yeah, it's a good one. I suggest it. Check it out if you're interested. Number 3 is actually a book that I read for review from Black and White Publishing. And that is Chasing Charlie by Linda McLaughlin. Now, I posted a review for it on my blog, so I'll have that link down below in case you're interested in like a more in-depth conversation about it, discussion. I really enjoyed it. Now, I have to admit, when I first sent the publisher a message saying, hey, I'm interested in doing a review for it, I have a blog because I didn't have this channel at the time, I did kind of think that it was going to be, like, it's fiction, but I was kind of, from the synopsis, because it's about a girl chasing after her ex, I thought it was going to be kind of like a young adult thing, but it's not, guys. So basically, quick little synopsis, because I'm trying to get the word out about this. It's about a group of friends, and basically their individual lives and struggles, but at the end of the day, they do all still tie together and have help each other through things. There's, you know, romance struggles, and there's women health problems, which was not expected, but whatever. And it was a really unique book. I definitely go way more in depth with it on my blog, so check that out. I keep saying that, I'm like, self-promotion. It wasn't what I expected, but it was such a good guilty read. Like, I flew through it. And yes, at times I laugh because some parts are just not necessarily badly written, but just like the characters are very immature at some points, and I don't know if that's on purpose or kind of like a debut novelist struggle. I'm not sure, but at the end of the day, I really enjoyed it. I absolutely love the ending. I got really, really attached to the characters, and it's just a good read if you're interested in like a quick little, yeah, a guilty pleasure read basically. Check this one out because I definitely don't hear enough or really anything about it, and having read it for review, I can say it needs to get recognition because I would definitely read any more stuff that McLaughlin comes out with. Like, I would be on it. I just think that as an author, she has a lot of space to grow, and I totally mean that in an encouraging way. Like, she has so much potential, and yes, there are ways that this book could have been improved, but at the end of the day, if someone wanted to make a movie out of this, you could easily just leave it as it is. Like, the characters are strong on their own, the story makes sense, it's a full, complete plot. Like, you get the good beginning all the way to the end, no questions asked really. Like, you do have your questions, but they do get answered. It's really impressive for a debut novelist. I'll end it at that. If you're interested in checking out, though, definitely do it. Just do it. And, you know, to quote Shia LaBeouf, I gave it a 4 out of 5 star because it really was that good. Book number 4 is a book that I got this summer, and I've been wanting to read for years, like years. And I finally did it. And that is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Now, I read Eleanor and Park like 2 or 3 summers ago, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And so then when I started getting introduced to the whole booktube community, and people are like, Eleanor and Park is her worst book if you're like rating all her ones like in order. And I was like, hold up. I love that book. So if people are saying her other ones are better than it, I'm gonna love them. I was at Barnes & Noble, and I found it, and it's beautiful, and so I've had it on my shelf since July. I was sick at home last month, and I was just flying through books, and so this one got picked up, and I had already been reading it for like 2 days in October until I came back to school in November. And okay, so basically it's one of those books I had like keep putting off to the side because of my crave writing book and then my deadlines and that kind of thing. So it took me longer than I would like to say, but guys, 5 stars. Like, Rainbow Rowell, I need more. Like 3 books, or now I think there's 4, and she's about to come out with a 5th. She's part of this like whole anthology they're coming out with. But I love her as an author. She is so talented and unique, and I would definitely say after having read 2 of her books now and hopefully a 3rd next year, she's definitely at the tops with young adult authors. Like her and John Green are the ones I've read so far, and they're my babes. Like, I love it, and it's just such a good book, and I'm thinking about like doing a book discussion on it, so let me know down in the comments if you'd be interested in that. But basically, I wanted to read this book originally in high school because it's about a girl in college, but the thing that held me back was like, if I end up finding it intimidating, and I don't know, it's just the whole a college girl, for her experiences in a book aren't very good. What are mine going to be like? So I waited until I was in college to read it, and I have to say I read it at the best time possible. Like, I was dealing with homesickness and getting over an illness and deadlines, and just kind of second year is definitely different than the first, especially with like not living in dorms and not being as close to some people as I used to be. And so this book was just, it was like being hugged by Rainbow Rowell. There you go. That's the best way I could describe it, actually. It's just so comforting. Her struggles are not necessarily similar to mine, like exactly, but I could easily be friends with her, and I cheered her on, and I got mad at her, and oh, it's so good, guys. Like, I know most people in this community have read it by now, but if you haven't, do it. You won't regret it. You absolutely love it. And if you haven't read any of Rainbow Rowell books because you're like, I don't want to follow the crowds or anything, you're missing out. I can tell you that, because it's not overrated. It's worth the applause. It's worth the hype. It's amazing. And yeah, 5 stars, hands down. One of the best books I've read this year. I'm gonna like save the best for last because it is how I finished the month. So I read my first like real proper graphic novel this month because my aunt got for me for my birthday, and it was a unique experience. Like, I'm proud of myself for taking the step, and I did enjoy it, but I don't know, it was different. That graphic novel is Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life by Brown Lee O'Malley. Now, I love the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World movie. Like, love it. I've loved it for years. I can't get tired of it. And recently they just put it on the UK Netflix, and I literally cheered. Like, to anyone who lives around me, I'm sure they heard it. Like, I was so excited. I found out earlier this year through, I think it was like read by Zoe, that it's actually like started as a graphic novel or it like came out after the movie. I don't know, but basically there's this whole series for it. I was like, okay, I need to check this out because I don't read graphic novels. Books are definitely my thing, but I want to give it a go. So thank you to my aunt for getting me this for my birthday because I finally got the chance. Now, okay, so like compare it to the movie, it's dead on, and I love how the books have been split up because it totally makes sense. But I just have to say, like, at the end of the day, give me this or give me this, and I'll probably enjoy this more. Like, just, books are my thing. I love them, and I found like this was it's just so quick and easy to read. I know that's what some people love about it, especially when they're like trying to make reading goals. But for me, it was like, because it was so easy, I made myself like read it across a whole month just so that would last, and I wouldn't feel like it was kind of like a waste. But it was different. I'm definitely glad that I got to read it, and I would read the rest of the series just in the sense of I love the movie and I'm a fan of it, and it really is a neat thing to read graphic novels, but at the end of the day, my money will still keep going to books rather than graphic novels probably. But I'm totally open to trying out new ones, because I've noticed that like there's a big trend with graphic novels right now in this community. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. I'll be happy to check some out. I'm like totally open-minded to it. It doesn't seem to be for me right now, but that's okay. Totally fine. But I gave it 4 stars. I was going to give it 3 stars to be honest, but then I was like, no, it is what it is. It's exactly like the movie. There's no fault in it. So really the knockoff from a 5 stars, the fact that I didn't enjoy it. So I really couldn't justify a 3, but it's still good. I give it that. It was an experience. Moving on. Alright guys, the book of the month for me, and quite possibly the year. A little drum roll, do. That was a really bad one. But, okay guys, okay, ready? Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. Now, this is like the book of the month on like BookTube it seems. Alright, story time guys. I love John Green, like hands down one of the best authors that I've ever read. Just, I love him and I support him, I encourage him, I want more from him. I started reading his books when The Fault in Our Stars was coming out. So like I read the book, I watched the movie, got obsessed with him, and read all of his other books. So I've like never been there for his new release. So this book coming out this year was like such a big deal, and I was counting down for so long. And so I had like this plan of the day it was released to go to my local bookstore right after class, pick up a copy, hopefully a signed copy because everyone else got one and I wanted one, understandably. But instead I got very sick and was stuck at home and could not get it. So I ended up getting it I think like 2 weeks after the release. But it was so worth it. Like I don't have a signed copy. Very sad, like I'm disappointed, but it's still a special limited edition, whatever. It's John Green, I'm just happy enough with that fact. But guys, this book, it did not disappoint. I loved it. It was worth the wait. It's oh, I can't even talk about it. Like that's how much I love it. But basically, I have to admit, with like everyone else who's been talking about it in their monthly wrap-ups lately, it's hard to explain what actually happens. But as far as like the mental health aspect of it goes, it's fascinating. I loved it. And I know that it's really touching a soft spot for a lot of people, but personally, as a person who like doesn't deal with anxiety to the degree that this main character does, or the OCD to the degree that this character does, it was just like a big eye-opener. And it didn't really, I don't want to say it gave me like sympathy for the people, because I feel like that's not exactly what they want, but more of the knowledge of what it really is like to deal with this. And it's just it's so good guys. Like I loved it, absolutely loved it. And it's already like in a pile to be take it home for my mom. That's the sirens. Like that's what I hear constantly guys. I apologize. I usually close my window, but I did it for this video. There's gonna be a lot of back noises in there. Sorry, that was a little mess up on my part. Praise for John Green. I agree. It was amazing. It's worth the hype. Buy it. If you haven't loved all of John Green's books, you're probably gonna love this one, because it's definitely the best. It's so unique and worth the wait, and I give him the respect for how long it took him to make this. And I know how touchy it was for him, and like Okay, so these are like the tags of all the quotes I love from it. And honestly, guys, I have a list of 10 to 15 more pages that I ran out of tabs for. Like, that's how much I loved it. And I still need to buy those tabs. I just keep forgetting it. But I will eventually, and then it'll just be like a whole, it's beautiful. I can't, definitely top book of the month. But yeah, 5 stars. I'd give it 1 million if I could, but Goodreads doesn't do that, so that's okay. I am, I'm both interested in writing a review for it on my blog as well as a book discussion on here. So let me know if you guys are interested in that. I will, I hope to do the blog part of it eventually. That was like so robotic, that's me. The sun's going down, my mind is going blank. We're just gonna wrap it up from here. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm losing my voice, but yeah, November was definitely a very, very good reading month for me, and I'm so proud of myself for hitting my mark. And I'll definitely bump it up next year because I think I can really push myself. And I have to admit, like, I read barely any books all summer, and my summer was from May to September, so that's really sad. But yeah, I'm really proud of it, and it's a big step for me as a reader. And yeah, that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed and are doing well and are happy and healthy and getting in the Christmas spirit because it is finally Christmas time. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye bye.